Well, I'm here in the free camping area in the Bromont Ultra. About 10 hours from now, I'll be starting the 50-mile race. See you on the course. With over 2,000 racers and 2 days of racing, it was more of a festival than just a single race. And in fact, there were a total of 14 different events on offer throughout the weekend. So, what that meant is there was always something going on in some race to watch or to take part in. All the races started and finished at the Olympic Equestrian Centre in Bromont, which was the site of the 1976 Olympic venue for horse jumping and the modern decathlon. But this weekend, the focus was on trail running and mountain biking. It's 3 a.m., 30 minutes to race time. I'm in the big tent here. Luckily it's heated so we can get warmed up and ready to hit those trails. Final preparations for the day consisted of dropping off my drop bag and then paying attention to the final race briefing before lining up at the start line in the dark for the start. Under the cover of darkness, we took off and climbed the first mountain not once, not twice, but 2.5 times before we got to our first water station. Then it was on to another series of hills and climbs before the first full aid station, and it wasn't until our third major mountain climb that the sun finally came out. But wow, was it ever gorgeous. The course takes advantage of not only the ski hills, but some private property that they have permission to use just during the race. In fact, one of the most unique aid stations was found at somebody's house, which they opened up for all the racers and volunteers to take care of us while we were racing. Speaking of volunteers, it's worth noting that 100% of this race is run by volunteers from the very highest position to the lowest position. And in fact, one of the major goals is fundraising for local charities. And in 5 years, they've raised almost $1 million. We're just crossing the halfway mark of the race. Unfortunately, we're on a road right now. It's a bit boring, but after about 6K on the roads, we've made our way back into the trails and back, of course, onto the mountains. We stopped off at one more food aid station before tackling some more climbs. So just leaving another nice aid station. Sun's out. The next stretch is pretty long, 16 kilometers till we get to a water stop. As you can see by this profile, there was a lot of climbing. Over the 80K, I got probably about 3,500 meters of climbing in total. But the beauty of it is that most of this climbing took place on mountains that were covered in beautiful fall foliage. There is no better time of the year to do any trail running, and that's probably one of the best aspects of this race. Of course, it also can be a bit treacherous for people that have weak ankles or things like that, because you will run across leaves that are covering up rocks and roots, so you do have to be careful as you make your way along. Thankfully, the courses are well marked. There's lots of places to show you where to go. But keep in mind, there's lots of steep climbing, as you can see. Once we came down off the final set of climbs, we arrived at Lac Gale at the 65K mark. Just leaving the final full aid station. About 15 kilometers left. Beautiful day, beautiful colors. By this point in the day, we were starting to come across some of the true warriors, the people who chose to race 160 kilometers, doing the entire course I did twice. Of course, we had a few other climbs taking us to some final vantage points before making our way to the end. With less than 5K to go, you know it's Snickers time. The final 5K was mostly downhill, which, depending on your point of view, might actually hurt worse. Either way, getting to the finish line and collecting your medal felt like a great accomplishment under the sunny skies. Once across, it was time to watch other people celebrate their victories, grab some food and drink, and enjoy the rest of the day. If you're looking for a race with a lot of swag, this probably isn't for you, but if you're looking for great trails and beautiful sights, check this one out. Well, that's it for me from the Bromont Ultra. As you can see, the fall colors are in full effect, and it's a huge event attracting lots of people. If you haven't done so, check it out. Add it to your race calendar.